Quick question: when Japan sells electronics to Brazil, what currency do you think gets used? You'd think yen or real, right? Nope. Almost always the US dollar. Today I'm going to show you why the dollar became the single most powerful currency on earth, and it all starts with oil. No boring textbook talk. Just me, you, and a piece of craft paper. Let's go. Let's start with the basics. Our reserve currency is the money that countries around the world stash away to trade and pay each other. Right now, almost 58% of all the money central banks hold in reserve is in US dollars. Nothing else even comes close. So how did one country's money take over the entire planet's financial system? The story starts in 1971, with a man named Nixon. Before that, the dollar was backed by actual gold. You could trade dollars for gold bars at a fixed rate. Simple and stable. But Nixon ended that. He closed the gold window, and suddenly, the dollar was backed by nothing physical at all. That was a problem. Why would the world keep trusting a currency backed by nothing? The US needed a new anchor fast. So in 1974, the US made a deal with Saudi Arabia. The Saudis agreed to sell their oil only in US dollars. In exchange, America gave Saudi Arabia military protection and weapons. A trade of oil loyalty for security. Soon, the rest of OPEC followed. And just like that, the petrodollar system was born. Here's why that's genius. If you want to buy oil, and every country does, you first need to get your hands on dollars. That single rule created permanent, built-in demand for dollars from every country on the planet, forever. But the story doesn't stop there. What did Saudi Arabia do with all those dollar profits? They didn't just stuff them in a mattress. They recycled them straight back into US Treasury bonds, basically, loaning that money right back to the American government. This is the petrodollar recycling loop: sell oil for dollars, buy US debt with those dollars, repeat for 50 years. And that gives America something economists call exorbitant privilege, a fancy way of saying incredible financial superpowers. Because the whole world needs dollars, America can borrow huge amounts of money at lower interest rates than almost anyone else. It also means America can run massive trade deficits, buying way more from the world than it sells, without much consequence. And during global crises? Investors panic buy dollars and US bonds because they're seen as the safest asset on earth. There's a darker side too. Because so much trade flows through US dollars, America can cut countries off financially like a switch. That power, called weaponizing the dollar, has made some countries nervous about depending on it so heavily. So now, some countries are trying to find workarounds, trading oil in other currencies, or building new payment systems entirely. But here's the catch: replacing the dollar isn't just picking a new currency. The whole world's financial plumbing runs through it. Banks, contracts, reserves, trade invoices, almost all of it is built around the dollar. Switching is incredibly hard and costly. So for now, even with cracks appearing, the dollar isn't losing its throne anytime soon. It still sits at the center of the world economy. So next time someone says the dollar is just paper, you'll know the real story: oil, power, trust, and 50 years of clever design. And if this finally made sense, hit subscribe. I break down economics like this every single week. See you next time.